Hi, I'm Fraser Douglas, the avid tent camper. In this video, I want to summarize differences between backpack camping and basic tent camping in developed state and federal campgrounds. The reason that I want to discuss these differences is because families that go into camping outfitting stores looking for advice about how to make their basic tent camping experiences more comfortable are likely to be met by young, enthusiastic clerks that may have some knowledge about backpacking, but usually have very little, if any, knowledge about basic tent camping equipment and procedures. As a result, these young store clerks may give you incomplete information and sometimes inaccurate information about basic tent camping equipment and procedures. For example, your clerk will probably tell you that you need to buy moisture-wicking garments, but may not be able to explain why. When you spend a lot of time outdoors, your clothes are likely to get wet for several reasons. They can get wet from rain, sloshed dishwater, leaking tents, tent condensation, leaking coolers, other nearby wet clothing, sweat, washing, leaking water bottles, water recreational activities, and more. And if you wear these wet garments, they will chill your body quickly. Since the fibers of cotton, linen, and rayon garments absorb water and require long periods of time to dry, basic tent campers should avoid cotton socks, cotton underwear, blue jeans, cotton sweatpants and sweatshirts, and other cotton garments. Instead, they should select garments that are made from polyester, nylon, wool, and silk. Furthermore, since backpackers have limited packing space, your clerk may assume that you only need a few garments and will wear the same garments over and over several days in a row. But basic tent campers have plenty of space to pack clothing and can easily pack enough garments to last for up to a week, plus 2 or 3 sets of long underwear, fleece jackets, sweaters, insulated jackets, and other warm garments. When discussing your primary shelter, your clerk may want to talk about small 1- or 2-person backpacking tents or even hammock camping, when basic tent campers would be much more comfortable in larger 4- or 6-person family tents. In my opinion, the 6-person tent is the perfect size, but they are a little more expensive than a 4-person tent. Anything larger than a 6-person tent may not fit in a campsite. If basic tent campers want to camp in cooler weather, they should consider a canvas tent. When discussing bedding, backpacking enthusiasts will immediately start talking about sleeping bags because they assume that sleeping bags are the most important piece of bedding. But I contend that thick, insulated mattresses and warm clothing are much more important than sleeping bags. Since most state and federal park campgrounds have electricity at the campsite, basic tent campers can bring their space heaters, their electric blankets, or their heated mattress covers and wool blankets, and forget about sleeping bags. When talking about sleeping bags, most store clerks assume that down sleeping bags are the best bags for camping, when basic tent campers would probably be better served by synthetic fill sleeping bags, because synthetic fill sleeping bags will keep them warm when wet and will dry much faster. Your store clerk probably won't even mention a secondary shelter such as a kitchen fly or dining fly, but having one to protect you from the wind, the sun, and the rain will make your camping experience much more comfortable. You'll notice that some basic tent campers like lightweight dining flies, others like screen rooms, but Ava and I just use ordinary poly tarps that cost about $5 to $10. Your store clerk is also unlikely to talk about camp furniture, but I contend that a few well-chosen pieces of furniture will make your camp very, very comfortable. We like a comfortable chair and 2 or 3 tables for food preparation. Regarding tools, backpackers assume that the only tool you need is a good knife, and then they spend most of their time debating which knife is the best all-purpose camping tool. While basic tent campers can just pack all of these knives. Plus, they can pack a small camp axe, a baton, and some wedges for splitting wood, and several other useful tools for performing common camp chores. Your clerk may not have much to say about personal items other than to carry a toothbrush. But since most developed state and federal campgrounds have hot showers, you can carry a towel and a washcloth and soap and a personal grooming kit. Just be sure that your washcloth and towel are made from fast-drying materials rather than cotton. Basic tent campers also have plenty of room to pack a variety of books, radios, binoculars, board games, and electronic devices. Many campgrounds are now offering Wi-Fi, and so I can watch a variety of YouTube videos and movies on my iPad. Clean water is a very important concern for backpackers because they can't carry enough water to last them a whole trip, and they'll have to gather their water from creeks or lakes and then use purification equipment to make it safe to drink. But basic tent campers staying in developed state and federal campgrounds will always have good drinking water nearby, and all they need are a few jugs and water bottles to bring it to their campsite. Backpackers will usually bring a small stove that is designed to boil water rapidly. This MSR Pocket Rocket is one of several small stoves that are available for backpackers. But basic tent campers have the room to bring larger stoves that can be used to fry or boil almost any food imaginable. Furthermore, fire rings are available in almost every campsite, and they allow campers to cook an even wider variety of foods. So basic tent campers need to prepare a fire starter bag at home that has some paper, some wood chips, and butane lighters, and then once they get to the campground, they can purchase firewood from the nearby vendor. In terms of cooking gear, your clerk may tell you that all you need is a small 1.5 quart pot for boiling water and a combination spoon fork. But basic tent campers should assemble a variety of pots and pans and plates and bowls and eating utensils and cooking utensils so that they can prepare a wide range of meals in their campsite. If you ask about food that you can prepare on your camping trip, your clerk is likely to take you to an area of the store where they sell a wide variety of dehydrated foods that can be combined with hot water, and the clerk may tell you that these foods are just as good as any other food that you can prepare, but don't believe them. Basic tent campers can buy a variety of packaged and canned foods in their local grocery store, plus pasta, beans, and spices, and prepare some of the best tasting meals that you can imagine. Although backpackers may devise a way to carry an egg or two into the backcountry, generally they must eat meals without being able to use any perishable foods. But basic tent campers are able to pack a cooler with milk, eggs, butter, and other perishable foods and prepare a much wider range of meals. In addition, basic tent campers are able to pack a variety of fresh fruits and vegetables. And finally, these young store clerks will likely have very little good advice about entertaining children during a camping trip. Well, I hope this video will give you some ideas about how to make your basic tent camping trips more comfortable. For more information about basic tent camping equipment and procedures, please visit my website, www.basictentcamping.com, and read my book titled Basic Tent Camping. Remember, take more trips, travel further, visit more attractions, and save money. Go tent camping.